Hello students, welcome to a new class, a new course, a new subject and a new stream. So many things must be going on in your mind about the subject, about the course, how to study, what are the new things that you will learn and whether they are scoring, which subject is scoring. So just follow me in my classes. I will make it very easy for you because once you understand everything, only then you will be able to enjoy the subject. So let us start our accounts journey together. So let us start with the first chapter, that is importance of accounting. So what is accounting and why accounting? Nowadays accounts and finance has become very important. It is required in your day-to-day life. In every area you need to know about the calculations and the finances. Suppose in future you are planning to do a business, then you need to have knowledge about how your money is going to be invested and how that money is going to get you returns, whether profit or it is going into losses. What are the expenses that need to be incurred, where you have to invest, etc., etc. Also, those people who are into a job, they also need to know how to manage their finances. That is, whatever they are earning, how much to spend, how much to save, and how much to invest. So let us start with the definition. That is accounting. Accounting is the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money the transactions and events which are in part at least of a financial character and interpreting the results thereof. So it's a long definition. It might seem very difficult, but let me break it down and tell you about the features and it will become very easy for you to learn. So in layman terms, accounting is the process to record the financial transactions relating to your business. Now, so understanding this definition, for doing this, you need to learn this abbreviation. This is IMRC SAC. So, IMRC SAC, where I stands for identifying the financial transactions. So, accounting is done of only those transactions. You have to recognize first, identify them, whether they are relating to your business, whether they are personal transactions, and like if they are related to your business, it must be for, suppose you are doing a business for purchasing, you are doing raw materials, you are purchasing, you are expending something. So you have to first identify those expenses which are related to your business. Second is M. M means measuring in terms of money. Only those transactions can be recorded which has monetary terms. R means recording. So what do you mean by recording? That is recording them into the primary books of accounts, and that is known as journal. So for a layman also, if you are doing some business, so you are starting with some money, you might be writing down, every day you are going to make a lot of transactions. So for all those transactions, you need to jot them down into a register. And this initial register is called journal. That has to be done in a proper way. Then C stands for classifying. Classifying all the common expenses in separate categories. Suppose you are doing purchases throughout the month, you have done a number of purchases daily or weekly. So classify them into one head. So all purchases together, all sales together, all the expenses, etc. separately. So this makes it IMRC, identifying, measuring, recording and classifying. Now SAC, S means summarizing. Summarizing the transactions means totaling all of them, posting it into a ledger and finally making a trial balance, then the balance sheet, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Analyzing and interpreting, A stands for that. This is whether the business is running into loss or making a profit. Then the last one is communicating. Communicating to the users. Who are the users? We'll read in details later on. But This is the performance of the business has to be told to the users. So IMRC is entry in the primary books, the journal and the ledger. And SAC means preparing the trial balance, profit and loss account and balance sheet. So let us come up again to the definition. So accounting is the art of recording, classifying and summarizing in a significant manner and in terms of money the transactions and events which are in part at least of financial character and interpreting the results thereof. So now let us talk about the users and the branches of accounting. So among the users are internal users and external users. The internal users are the owners, the management and the employees. The owners are the one who are investing their capital into the business. So they will definitely need to know whether the capital that is being invested is getting them profit or loss. The management takes the decisions, basic decision making is done by them. So they need to know about the performance of the business, whether their decision making is okay or they need to change anything. The employees, their salary, their increment or their bonus is dependent on the performance of the business. Now coming to external users, the banks and financial institutions who lend money to the business, they should be knowing about the performance of the business, that is whether the amount that they have lent to the business, whether there is possibility of recovery or bad debts, NPA, these things. The investors are in the same condition. If they are investing into the business, they need to know the business is running into loss or profit, whether their investment is safe, secure or not. The government authorities, they make the decisions like how much tax collection. This also depends on the performance of the business. The consumers and public at large, they are the ultimate users. And the creditors. The creditors also want to know the credit worthiness of the business because they will continue to supply to this business only if the business is doing well. So now coming to the branches of accounting. There are basically three branches, that is the financial accounting, the cost accounting and the management accounting. The financial accounting deals with the maintenance of books of accounts, whether it is properly kept, proper determination of the financial position of the business is known from here only. Then cost accounting is they deal with the recording of the cost of all the items and etc. Like major decisions regarding whether they need to reduce the cost or control anywhere, this has to be taken on the basis of the cost, the decision making. Then management, which helps in decision making. So these are the three branches of accounting. And now coming to bookkeeping, another term, that is bookkeeping. So how is bookkeeping different from accounting? Now bookkeeping means, as the name suggests, it only means the maintaining of the records. Whereas accounting, that starts when the bookkeeping ends. So let us understand this thing, the difference between bookkeeping and accounting. Bookkeeping is the recording phase of an accounting system. The first initial recording is done, which is known as bookkeeping. And accounting, this is the summarizing phase of the accounting system. When bookkeeping has already been done, then the accounting work starts. So bookkeeping is known as the primary stage and basis for accounting, and accounting is called the secondary stage, which begins when the bookkeeping process ends. Third is, it is a routine, bookkeeping is routine in nature and does not require much skill or knowledge. And accounting is basically analytical in nature and requires special skill and knowledge. Bookkeeping is done by, fourth point is, bookkeeping is done by staff who may be junior staff or bookkeepers, but accounting can only be done by senior staff who has some knowledge about accounting. The fifth point is, it does not give the complete picture of the financial condition of the business because it is only doing the recording and accounting, it ends after the balance sheet is made. So it gives a complete picture of the financial condition of the business. Now the objectives of accounting. So by now you might have understood a little bit about accounting. So let us quickly understand the objectives. The first is maintaining the accounting records. Second, determining the profit and loss of a business. Then determining the financial position of a business. Fourth is facilitating the management in decision making, budgeting and forecasting. Then providing accounting information to the users, protecting the business asset and preventing frauds by maintaining regular and systematic accounting records. These you need to memorize also, because all the theory questions will come from here. So now comes the advantages of accounting. First is it provides information which is useful to the management for making economic decisions. Okay. So second will be it helps the owners to compare one year's result with those of the earlier years so as to locate the factors which lead to the changes. Whether if the business had performed better and now it is not performing, then it will help him in taking certain decisions for future. Third is it provides information about the financial position of the business by means of balance sheet, which shows asset on one side and liabilities and capital on the other side. Okay, so balance sheet is the complete picture of the business. At the end of the year, it shows what are your assets, what are your liabilities, how much profit you have earned, what is due from the market, and how much you owe. Okay, the fourth is it helps in keeping a systematic and complete record of the business transactions in the books of accounts according to specified principles and rules, which is accepted by the courts as evidence. So if a business is keeping the records properly, it means, because accounting is always done on the basis of certain rules. So if a business is maintaining the accounts, that means it is following all the rules and principles. The fifth is that it helps a firm in assessment of its correct tax liabilities such as income tax, sales tax, VAT, excise duty, etc. So your return can be filed only if your accounting is done properly. Sixth is properly maintained accounts helps a business entity in determining its proper purchase price. Okay. Now the limitations. The first and foremost, it's historical in nature. Accounting is always considered to be historical in nature in certain terms. How? I'll explain it to you. It does not reflect the current worth of business because the figures given in the financial statements ignore the effect of changes in the price level. It involves keeping accurate record of all the past transactions made in the business. Only when transactions have already occurred, then you can do the accounting. You cannot plan, your balance sheet does not depict anything that will be done in future. It cannot maintain future transactions. Example, assets are recorded at their original cost, that is the historical cost, less depreciation every year. So the current market value of the asset is not depicted in the balance sheet. Second, it contains only those information that can be expressed in terms of money. It ignores the qualitative elements such as efficiency of the management, the quality of the staff, the customer satisfaction, example like good relation, management's reputation, etc., which cannot be expressed in monetary terms, is not recorded. Third is it may be affected by window dressing. That is, manipulation in accounts is always possible to present a more favorable position of the business. So some people may do such manipulation also. The fourth is it is not free from personal bias or personal judgment of the people dealing with it. For example, different people have different opinions regarding the life of asset. Like the depreciation is calculated, it is the first assess that the life of the asset will be this, and Only on the basis of that, the depreciation is calculated for so many years, and every year that depreciation is reduced from the asset value. Also, provision for doubtful debt. This is also made on the basis of personal judgment. That is whether this money will come or not, you will receive it or not, or whether provision has to be made for that. The fifth is it is based on various concepts and conventions which may hamper the disclosure of realistic financial position of business. For example, assets in the balance sheet are shown at their cost and not at their market value. So what can be realized on this date, on current date, is not depicted. So these are some of the limitations. So with this we come to the end of the chapter. Students, this is more of a theory chapter. So you need to understand the whole concept about this, and many theory questions will come from that. So if you have any problem, any query, please contact us in this phone number, and visit us at brightmindgurukul.com for more videos, or someday you can come to the YouTube channel.